Good morning, everyone. My name is Amitesh Srivastava, and my registration number is 17BCE0643. And today I will be sharing my opinions on the topic that is Indian academic system. So, according to some people, they consider Indian academic system as bad, and some people consider Indian academic system as good. So, what is the status basically? Is it good or is it bad? So, let me ask you something, or let me tell you something basically. We know that in India there is democracy and in Russia there is communism. According to us Indians, we consider communism as bad. We consider democracy is the best. And according to the Russians, they consider communism as the best. And they consider democracy as not that good. So who is correct here? The communists or us? So basically, we cannot justify or we cannot satisfy a particular one thing. Everything has its pros and cons. Communism has its pros and cons, and our democracy has its pros and cons. Similarly, in the same way, our Indian academic system has its pros and has its cons. So that we will be discussing today with you about the pros and cons of the Indian academic system. So let's start with Indian academic system pros. So what are the positive aspects of Indian academic system? So first, let me tell you something, which is a very intriguing point, that Indian schools are considered to be are given a rank third all over the world. That means Indian schools are considered to be among the best around all over the world. That is such a proud point for us, and this is due to a perfect balance between the discipline and strictness in the schools. Cannot, like, the Indian schools are not totally strict or not totally disciplined. There is a perfect balance between the two. We cannot say that that guy studying in the this particular Indian school, so he will be particularly disciplined or he will be totally disciplined. No, or he will be totally strict. It's not like that. There is a perfect balance. When I was studying in fifth class, there was a pattern introduced which was known as CCE pattern. Was proved to be so good that it was carried for around 6 to 7 years after that. In that pattern, we used to give multiple exams from time to time. In 1 year, there were 6 exams which were being conducted. This was made sure that this was basically introduced for us to be in constant contact with our studies, or to maintain the flow of our studies, so that we don't lose the touch of our studies. Due to this, lots of students were benefited. Now, examination patterns. Come to the examination pattern in the academic systems of India. Examination patterns are well organized. There is a proper procedure how to conduct an examination, how the students will give examinations, and how the copies will be evaluated. Apart from that, in Indian academic system, conceptual learning is very well focused. Theoretical learning is which is very well explained or very well very well taught in class or classes of the schools. IITs and NITs are very well renowned around the world, and many of the students from abroad want to study in these colleges. It's a matter of time that IITs and NITs will surpass the colleges such as MIT or Stanford. Engineers and doctors who have studied in India are known for their skills. They are highly trained and they have lots of knowledge in this aspect because their knowledge has come from such an academic which only prevails in India. Most of the USA, United States highest earners are Indians. It is because it's the way they have been taught and it's the way they have been learning stuff and learning experience. So these are some aspects, these were some positive points which prevails in the Indian academic system. But are these the only points? Is it enough? No, actually not. With positivity comes negativity. So in spite of these positive points, there are some negative points as well. So let me discuss negative points with you. Recently, a survey has been done, and it was found that the 80% of the people or the students does not like our Indian academic system. They think that it's either bad or worse or needs improvement. But 20% of the people thinks that yes, it is good. Why is it so? So let us discuss some points which can prove that yeah, that is why 80% of people don't like our Indian academic system. The foremost point which I'm going to put is creativity of the student. In Indian academic system, theoretical knowledge always persists, and they have to memorize everything. Creativity of the student totally dies in Indian academic system. So you can see like why students with lots of creative skills have to suffer a lot under Indian academic system. They have to kill their creativity just to memorize everything. Indian academic system is totally based on memorizing everything. You have to memorize everything. You just go to exam, you just write whatever you can recall in the exam. After that, you forget everything. That's why the students who clear their 12th board exams and after that they come to engineering colleges or medical colleges faces a lot of problem because they used to memorize everything in their class time or in the school time. So that is the main problem with academic system. And due to this, memorizing everything creates enormous amount of pressure among the students. They have to learn everything. Their syllabus is getting tougher and tougher every year. Even the eighth class people are now committing suicide because they cannot handle such pressure. Suicides are very common in engineering and medical colleges. And I am currently studying in VIT. Until now, from January 2019 to it's March 14 today, there has been 26 suicide attempts in our college. 26. So it's due to the increasing amount of pressure. We everybody have seen that movie Three Idiots, and in that movie we can clearly see that the guy who was very creative, in making quadcopters, he was so much interested in making that, but his teacher didn't approve of it because he didn't complete his assignments or so-called memorizing stuffs, so he committed suicide. That's what happens in colleges all the time. Suicide rates are constantly increasing in all the colleges all around India due to this academic system. And apart from that, there are examinations which are written based. Written based wastes a lot of paper, lots and lots of paper. Tons of paper is used for just examination purpose. There is 12th board, there is 10th board, and lakhs of tons of kg of paper is used there. Most of those papers are thrown in the trash, and some of that are only recycled because of the corrupt officials of our India. So this is something which is very bad for the economic condition of the society as well. We'll talk on another aspect that is called practical knowledge. Practical knowledge is something that is needed everywhere, where, whether it is your college, whether it is your company, or whether you are going for an internship, your practical knowledge is needed at all point. So in our Indian academic system, we are very we don't have at all. We don't have any practical knowledge. Our practical knowledge skills is zero. So why is that? Because we believe in theoretical knowledge rather than practical knowledge. So that is another disadvantageous point for our Indian academic system. Now, there are lots of boards. There are lots of boards in our society or in our Indian academic system. There is CBSE board, there is ICSE board, there is Bihar board. In fact, each state has its own board. So that's something that creates a unbalance, like imbalance between the knowledge level of different people. Like the ICSE people are very fluent in English, CBSE people are very good in maths. So it's like that there is an uneven distribution of knowledge among the people. So it's destroying our academic structure completely. Now, another aspect, and this is, I think, this is the root cause for all the evil points of this particular academic system, is reservation. Reservation is something which has been prevailing for the last 30 to 40 years now, and it's something that is destroying our academic structure completely. How is that? Basically, all the backward people are given free jobs, free academics, and everything full free of cost. And the deserving people are not getting a chance. The deserving students are not getting a chance. Barack Obama, former president of USA, once said that we give jobs to deserving Indians, not reserved Indians. That means we are giving job to only reserved Indians, and deserved Indians are leaving our, like, they are learning stuffs in India and they are going out of India because they cannot earn enough, they cannot earn up to their potential in India. That is the main problem of our academic system. Then there is then then this reservation system is affecting lots of people. That's why we are losing lots of brilliant minds throughout the year. Now let's talk about some improvement that can be done. So one way is to eradicate reservation system. It's been enough. You can provide them with equal opportunities rather than just spoon feeding them. Then there is scholarship. Give scholarship in studies. That will help students a lot. A lot, I mean a lot. Then there are new career options. Everybody thinks that with after engineering and medical there is no scope, but there are lots of scope. There is management, there is media, there is journalism, there is photography, lots and lots of stuff, and lots of career options are there. So these should be provided to the students, and a separate seminar should be done for these. Then there are less sports in academics. Everybody know that in healthy mind lies in healthy mind lies in a healthy body. So sports should be introduced in academics as well. And last but not the least, practical knowledge is important everywhere. So improve practical knowledge among the students, preach practical knowledge. They need to learn practical stuffs for their future endeavors, and practical knowledge is needed everywhere. So with theoretical knowledge, give them the experience of practical knowledge as well. These points will cover most of the things which are the problems of the Indian academic systems and how it can be eradicated. So these were my points, and I hope that was enough, and that will be all of my presentation. So thank you, and that's all.